Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 252nd episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So this may be the first solo project that I'm covering from Project Bloat's own Aceyalone. It's really nowhere near the first appearance he's made on the channel, considering I covered Inner City Griots by Freestyle Fellowship in my first 10 uploads. And AC was a massive part of what made that groundbreaking collective and album so amazing. I also discussed this legend a bit more recently when I did my review for Who Framed the A-Team, which was the debut LP from Aceyalone and Abstract Rude as a duo, who together made up the A-Team, but it's worth mentioning that these two had already worked together before that, as they made up 2/3 of the trio Abstract Tribe Unique, with the other member being Micah 9, Aceyalone's colleague from Freestyle Fellowship, who also has a number of dope solo projects I'll definitely try to get around to at some point on the page. Arguably the most influential aspect of the music that came from these core Project Bloat members is the incredibly loose, creative, and artistic ways that they would approach each track, structuring their bars with these jazz-inspired, extremely technical angles that brought fast and choppy flows to the forefront years before acts like Bone Thugs and Harmony or 3-6 Mafia. Of course, those acts ultimately saw more commercial success and had a more widespread impact. And to be fair, they both took the method of fast rapping with melodic inflections in new and unique directions. But as much as I love 666 and Bone Thugs to the point I've reviewed both on the channel, I honestly don't think there's a member of either that can hang with a single member of Freestyle Fellowship when it comes to pure flow, lyricism, and MCing, be it Aceyalone, Micah 9, Self Jupiter, or Peace. Now, before any diehard fans come to devour me alive, let me clarify that the percentage of rappers on Earth who can stand next to someone like AC on the mic are minuscule in my opinion. I have to assume it's just a byproduct of the creative breeding grounds that was Project Bloat, the Good Life Cafe, and really this section of 90s LA underground hip-hop as a whole, because virtually any act affiliated had their own approach and or sound, and pretty much all of them had battle rap experience and an ability to spit freestyles off the top of the head that would range anywhere from decent to absolutely mind-blowing. And in the case of dudes like Micah 9 or really any of the Fellowship members, there are countless examples of these uncanny, completely impromptu freestyles that you can watch on YouTube. After the giant splash made by Freestyle Fellowship's debut, Aceyalone would branch off to begin his debut as a solo artist, which resulted in the release of his debut album here, All Balls Don't Bounce, and by proxy ended up becoming one of the earliest artists on the Project Bloat roster to release a solo LP. AC would remain insanely consistent throughout his career after this first release, from the mid to late 90s work he did with Abstract Tribe Unique, to even surviving the turn of the century when many of the MCs who came into the game when he did weren't able to do so, putting out other quality projects like 2003's Lab Down Under with Abstract Rude, or solo LPs like 2001's Accepted Electric, 2002's Hip Hop and the World We Live In, or 2003's Love and Hate. However, while those releases are all well worth your time, I think the majority of fans would agree the most essential projects in the extensive Aceyalone discography are his first two albums, those being 1995's All Balls Don't Bounce Here, and 1998's A Book of Human Language. This LP has a pretty decent runtime, but it also depends on what version you listen to, because the original album here just barely cracks an hour, but if you listen to the 2004 All Balls Don't Bounce Revisited on streaming, it comes in at just under 2 hours. One track that's always stood out to me and gets stuck in my head is called A Rhythm Meticulous, which, like many other songs on this debut, features mind-bending flows at a breakneck pace. I want to share some of the witty and sharp lines AC had in his first verse here. Starting with, well, up until now, your only concept of rhythm is a 4x4 loop, square as a pool table, with no dynamics implanted, but you couldn't understand why all of your gigantic rap sounded so bland, but the answer was right in your hand. Couldn't believe you were so naive to arrangements, changes, different time signatures, the freedom of your imagination. That must have been a fixation with blocks, like trying to make a wheel out of rock, like trying to make a puppet out of sock. See, I got that private stock, the personal vat with the broth and gravy, and the electrons to pass on so the world don't seem so wavy. Oh, everybody holler and save me, save yourself, before it's too late into the, when you go because my wig got weight, I gotta concentrate on. The progressive instrumentals on here were crafted in part by Aceyalone himself, but he also enlisted the help of producers like The Nonce, Punish, Vic Hop, Chill and Villain Empire, Mumbles, and Fat Jack. Then, with guest appearances, the original version of the LP features a modest but talented group including Abstract Rude, Micah 9, Peace, and Change of Rhythm, but All Balls Don't Bounce revisited, add some more names like Vic Hop, Riddlore, LA Cool, NGA Fish, and Mark the Murderer. I have a bunch of honorable mentions to rattle off for this one, so I'm going to leave off the track I already discussed at length, and instead shout out songs like All Balls, Anywhere You Go, Mr. Outsider, Analilia, No Knots, Mic Check, Headaches and Woes, I Think, B-Boy Kingdom, They Don't Know, Keep It True, The Nobodies, I Dream, and Believe in Yourself. Then for my overall top 3 favorites, I whittled it down to Deep and Wide, Feet Up on the Table, and The Greatest Show on Earth. Thank you for watching my 252nd video. Next up, we are returning to one of my all-time favorite groups, so look out for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite songs are off this pillar of West Coast alternative hip-hop. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.